Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our December edition of Children's Church. Today we are celebrating Christmas because it's still the 12 days of Christmas. So I've got my Christmas pajamas on, and I hope that you've got your pajamas on too because we're having a Christmas pajama party. And I hope you've got your stuffies with you and you've got a blanket and you're nice and warm and cozy so you can enjoy your time together with me this morning. For those of you who have never been to Children's Church before, we do lots of different things. We have a sing-along, we share a story, we often do a craft, and then we do prayer and a little bit more singing. So this is a fun way for us to just do some churchy things and have a good time and to spend some time one-on-one together. So I'm so glad you're here and I can't wait to get started. Oh, before we do get started, there is something I do want to show you. Mrs. Robinson brought us in an amaryllis plant and it's been growing all December. And can you see how beautiful it is? Look at those beautiful red flowers. And there's 4 of them that are growing. So we're so lucky that this is going to be blooming all through the Christmas season. So I just wanted to share this with you because I think they're beautiful. So they're going to be here with our poinsettias so that you can see them when we have our church services. So the first thing that we do with Children's Church is we have our sing-along, and the first song that we always sing is called Come to the Table. This is a song that we learned last summer in Compassion Camp, and it's such a great song that we use it every single time we get together. So the first verse, there are 4 lines, and the first 3 are all the same. So the first 3 are, come to the table, and then the last line is, come celebrate with us. And you repeat each verse. So tell you what, I'm gonna start singing it and you join in as soon as you get the hang of it. And for those of you who've been here before, I hope that you sing out nice and loud with me. Here we go. Come to the table, come to the table, come to the table, come celebrate with us. Come to the table, come to the table, come to the table, come celebrate with us. Second verse is, we are all welcome, come celebrate with us. We are all welcome, we are all welcome, we are all welcome, come celebrate with us. We are all welcome, we are all welcome, we are all welcome, come celebrate with us. And the last verse is, let's have a party, come celebrate with us. Let's have a party, let's have a party, let's have a party, come celebrate with us. Let's have a party, let's have a party, let's have a party, come celebrate with us. Let's have a Christmas sing-along. I've got my friends Brad and Robin and Diane here, and let's just have a blast. So our first song is Good Christian Friends Rejoice. If you've got a hymn book, it's number 35. Let's sing God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Our next one is the Virgin Mary had a baby boy, and this one has some parts to clap in, so I hope you'll all join in. It's number 73 in Voices United. And our next song is a Christmas action song. And so the first verse, the words are, a stable door, a baby in a manger, and a stable door. And you repeat that. I'll sing it for you so you guys can learn it and you'll sing it with me, okay? A stable door, a baby in a manger and a stable door. A stable door, a baby in a manger and a stable door. Great. And the second part is, it's Jesus, a baby in a manger and a stable door. It's Jesus, a baby in a manger and a stable door. Great. Yeah, you guys remember this from last year. That's awesome. Okay, there's a second verse, and there's three wise men riding on their camels. There were three wise men. We repeat that line. And then the second part is, the stars there, riding on their camels are the three wise men. Okay?
Sort of.
We're going to go for it. Okay, so we'll do both verses together. Are you ready? Here we go. A stable door, a baby in a manger and a stable door. A stable door, a baby in a manger and a stable door. It's Jesus, a baby in a manger and a stable door. It's Jesus, a baby in a manger and a stable door. Three wise men, riding on their camels. There were three wise men, riding on their camels. There were three wise men. The stars there, riding on their camels. There were three wise men. The stars there, riding on their camels. There were three wise men. Woohoo! Give That was some great singing. Hello again. Now it's story time. So this whole week we've been talking about the birth of Jesus and all of the wonderful things that happened with that, with the beautiful star, with the shepherds who came, with the wise men who were on the way, and lots of angels, and it's such a wonderful, wonderful story. Today I want to share with you a story about the animals in the barn who were there when Jesus was born. So this story is called Room for a Little One. And you can see there's a cow, and what else do you see? Maybe that's a little mouse, and there's a donkey in the back, all sorts of animals here. So tell you what, I will read a page and then I'll show you the picture. It was a cold winter's night. Kind ox lay in the stable close to the side of the barn. So you can see it's a small barn, and you can see the ox who's inside. It looks like you can see some frost on the ground, so it definitely was chilly. So someone comes to visit the ox. An old dog came by. He stopped and looked into the stable. "I need somewhere to rest," said the old dog. "Come inside," said the kind ox. "There's always room for a little one here." I'll show you the picture so you can see the nice dog. Old dog came in and lay down on the straw, and he nestled in close to the kind ox, sharing the warmth of the stable. And when you look at him, look at his little face. He does look really tired. It must be very nice that he's now got a nice warm place to stay and he's made a new friend. A stray cat peered in. She saw old dog, and she stopped. The stray cat, she arched her back and her fur bristled. "I'll not chase you," said the old dog. "Come inside," said the kind ox. "There's always room for a little one here." So how do you think the cat felt when she first saw the dog? When she's arching her back? She was a little scared. She was worried that the dog might chase her. So imagine what a relief it was to hear that she was invited inside and everyone was safe. So the stray cat came into the stable. She curled up in the straw, close to the friends she had found, purring and twitching her tail. Oh, look at that, they've become friends. And when I look at that cat, she looks very much like my cat, whose name is Kiri. Isn't it nice that they're all friends and they're all helping one another stay warm? A small mouse appeared at the stable. She saw the stray cat and she quivered with fear. "You're safe here. I won't harm you," said the stray cat. "Come inside," the kind ox said. "There's always room for a little one here." Can you see? How nice that the cat decided not to chase the mouse. Everybody's paying it forward. Everyone's been shown kindness, and so they're sharing kindness with others. And that's a great way to be. So the small mouse scurried in, and she nestled down warm in the straw in the peace of the stable. So who can you see in this picture? Can you see the ox? How about the dog? And the cat? And can you see the mouse? It's very, very small. If you can find the cat, the mouse is just below the cat. Teeny tiny little mouse. The mouse must have been so relieved to be able to share the warm stable with all of them. And then the tired donkey came. Joseph led him along. Mary rode on tired donkey's back. Joseph was cold and Mary was weary. That means that she was tired. But there was no room at the inn. So here they are. How do you think they felt when they couldn't find any place to stay? They must have felt so disappointed and maybe a little scared about where they were going to sleep because, look, it's getting dark out. And especially if it's cold outside, nobody wants to be outside when it's cold and dark. "Where will my baby be born?" said Mary. "Come inside," said the kind ox to the tired donkey. "There's always room for a little one here." And so not only did the donkey come in, but also Mary and Joseph. The tired donkey brought Mary into the stable, and Joseph made her a warm bed in the straw to save her from the cold of the night. And look at how all the animals are just watching and making room for them. And so Jesus was born with animals all around him. A kind ox, an old dog, a stray cat, a small mouse, and a tired donkey. And all welcomed him into the warmth of their stable. Can you see them all? Can you even see the mouse? Everybody's welcoming him in. That cold winter's night, beneath the star's light, a little one came into the world. All right, can you see the Christmas star shining above that little stable? And they're all tucked away, safe and warm in there, all because of kindness. It all began with the kind ox, and then all the other creatures passed along that kindness so that they passed it on to Mary and Joseph, and everybody made room for each other. That's a wonderful way to be, isn't it? To show kindness and compassion and to share what we have. That's exactly how Jesus lived his life too. And next, we are going to be doing a craft together. So please you've got a bag in your bag that's got some pieces of felt and that, so grab that bag and we'll get started. Let's make a craft together. So those of you who are part of our children's church, you'll have received a package in this week. And inside your package, there is a little plastic bag with a bunch of pieces of felt. There's some fuzzy material in it. There is a cylinder, and there's also a wooden bead. So if you want to get those supplies out now, some other things that you're going to need. In your kits, there should also be a one-page pattern piece. So it's got things labeled like shirt and beard and hat. So if you can find that piece of paper, you're going to need some good scissors. My secret weapon are thumbtacks, or you may, if your parents will let you play with it, then get sewing pins, that are used to hold fabric together. See if you can read the sewing kit, because that also helps to hold things in place while things are being glued. You are welcome to use white or clear glue. It will take longer for it to set, and so you just have to be a bit more patient. Or if at home, if you have a glue gun like this, you could also use this. Remember that these get very hot, so you might need help from an adult or an older person to help you out with it. But this craft can be a family craft, so maybe one person will do the cutting, another might do the gluing. You can all sort of share responsibilities so everyone's safe and everyone has fun together. Let's see, anything else that you need? And maybe you might need a marker or a crayon or something like that so you can trace the pattern onto your pieces of felt. Okay, so have you guessed already what it is that we're making this time? We are making Christmas gnomes. Do you know how to spell the word gnome? It's got a G in the front. So even though we don't pronounce it, we don't say gnome, it's got a G there. So it's G-N-O-M-E, gnome. And Our craft, the reason we're doing this as our craft this month is because of it's a pun. So since we're all having to stay home for the holidays, right? Our craft is there's no place like Nome for the holidays. So it's a terrible joke, but hopefully it's a wonderful craft. All right, so first things first, grab your pattern page and start cutting out your patterns so that you can have the pieces. There should be one for the hat. There should be one for a shirt that sort of looks like a rectangle, and then there's also a smaller one for the beard. So just cut those out. And remember, when we're doing this craft, you can always pause the video or you can go back and watch it again if I'm working a little bit faster than you. Or if I'm working slower, you can always jump ahead as well. You might be very speedy compared to me. Your beard shape is kind of like a square. If you instead want to have a beard that's a different shape, like maybe you want it to be long and trailing, you can cut your beard fabric in a different shape. So just do know that this is just a guideline, that you can always make it the way you want and just use this to help you, but you can always do your own thing, okay? Okay, and I need to also do my little beard one. So you may have noticed that we don't have any like googly eyes or anything for the gnome. That's because our gnome's hat is going to be so big that it's going to come down over his eyes, and his beard is going to cover the rest of his face. So all you're going to see is his nose. And so the wooden bead that you got in your kit, that is your gnome's nose. So how we're going to put this together is we are going to do it in layers. So the first layer, the thing that goes underneath everything, is the shirt, okay? And your shirt is, you can always mix this up. You can do this opposite to me. The way I'm going to do it today is I'm going to make my gnome's shirt to be that sort of dark brown color, and I'm going to make his hat red. But you can switch it up. There's no rules about what gnomes have to look like. So now I've got my piece of felt. I've got my pattern. I'm going to put it on here, and then I'm going to use my marker to draw the pattern outline on the felt. If you don't have a marker, maybe try a lighter crayon, or a piece of chalk would be amazing if you had that at home. So, and if you don't have any of those things, then maybe just use a sewing pins and pin your paper pattern to the felt, and then you can just cut around both the felt and the pattern. And remember, you just go at your own pace. It's not a race. This is meant to be something that's fun to do. So just take your time and enjoy it. And as you're creating, you'll have to think about what your gnome's name will be, because every gnome likes to have a name. All right, and then when you're ready, you start cutting it out. Now I made the pattern for your felt pieces, so they should fit pretty closely to what your cylinder is. My cylinder is a little bit bigger than yours, so my felt pieces might be a little bit slightly different than yours. So what you do is once you've got it ready, you're going to roll it around first just to make sure it's going to fit properly around the bottom. And so it should come together. There shouldn't be any white showing. It should just slightly overlap or touch together. All right, so just make sure that it's going to lie flat, okay? And you're gonna wanna line it up with the bottom of your cone. So that way when your gnome is sitting on the table here, that you don't see any of the white styrofoam, okay? So once you know that you've got it lined up well and you know it's gonna work, then you can glue it. So one of the tricks that I learned when I was trying to put all this together is using some pins or some tacks to help hold it down and hold things in place is a decent idea, just to make sure that things don't go everywhere. So what I've done is I put 2 pins in it to hold it in place, and now I can gently add some glue and glue it down. Remember, if you're using hot glue, that it's very, very hot, and you may want to have an adult do this part with you, okay? All right, and you just gently pat everything into place. Make sure that the felt is lying flat. Okay, and I've got a bit of overlap here at the back, so I'm just gonna take a little bit more glue and glue down the overlap as well, so it's all gonna lie nice and flat. So if you are using white glue or clear glue like this, it's gonna take a little bit longer for it to set. You're gonna have to sort of hold it in place, or maybe put a few more tacks in it just to hold everything down to let it dry. Okay, it's so nice when you're using a glue gun because things dry very quickly. Okay, so there's the shirt. Next thing we're gonna do is cut out the hat. All right, and when you look at your hat pattern, you know, it probably looks a little weird. You know, you'd think that it should just be sort of like a triangle and pointy, but instead it's kind of rounded. There's a reason for that. It's so that it'll fit well around the cylinder. So try to trust me on this, that this is really the shape that you want. And so first things first is you're either going to trace or you're going to pin your pattern onto the felt, so then you can cut it out. So this is your beard material. There is a beard pattern, but again, you can make your beard whatever shape that. You can make it huge if you want. This piece is a little bit too big, so let's see. See, my beard should be smaller. So what I think I'm going to do is just trim it up a little bit, just so you can see the gnome, because otherwise it's just going to be sort of a giant puffball, which is fun, but not quite the look I'm going for. Okay, so I've sort of got a triangle shaped beard that's going to go on here. So it's going to be longer than his body, but I think that's going to make it kind of cute. So at this point, I think that the glue that I put on the shirt should be set. So I can take out these pins. Now remember, the part where you folded the shirt over itself, that's the back of the gnome. So you want to put your beard at the front. Although, for my gnome, I actually could put it on the back and it would cover up that seam nicely. You have options, okay? So whatever works best for you. So what I'm going to do is glue on my beard. Ooh, I'm gonna need to add some more glue. Okay, in a moment. So I'm gonna put the glue on the body, and it's gonna need a lot of glue. Remember that this glue sets very quickly too, so don't take too long setting it on here. Just make sure you've got lots of glue so it's gonna stick well. Okay, so there's my fuzzy beard. And now I can put the hat on top, and the hat is gonna cover over my beard a little bit. All right. So the neat thing with the hat is that you can decide how big your hat's gonna be. Like if you want it to be super pointy, it can be taller than the cone, or you can make it fit snugly on it. It's up to you, because this is your gnome, and so whatever makes you happy, that's what I want you to do. Because if you make it a little bit longer, then you might be able to even fold your hat down and make it kind of cute. think what I'm going to do is try to fold over the top first. So I'm putting some glue near the top of so I can fold this part under, just because if I can get it started, then, then I can do the rest. So I've got it folded a little bit. Now it's sort of sitting on my gnome, and we're going to add some more glue and just glue it down. My friends, just do this in a way that makes you happy. There really isn't a right or wrong way to do this. It's all about just having fun and getting to know your gnome. All right, and so I've glued down one side of my hat. And I'm just sort of pulling it all into place, and now I'm just going to glue the other end down. So I didn't have to glue the whole piece of felt, I just sort of had to glue the ends, and the rest will stay put. Okay. And as you're tucking it in, maybe start at the top, because that'll keep the hat nice and snug. If you are having any trouble with this, again, I recommend getting out a pin and just pinning it down so that it's going to lie the way you want it, because you can always take the pin out after. Okay, so you now have a hat on your gnome, and there he's got a little body. And really, there are two more pieces left. So one is to put the nose on. Now, if you're using regular glue, this step is definitely going to take a little patience, because it's going to take some time for it to dry. And the nose just goes just underneath the hat. So it looks like the hat is all the way down. It's covering his eyes, okay? So if you're using regular glue, you're going to want to set your gnome down and glue it and just leave it be for 24 hours and let it really set before you try to move him around. If you're using a glue gun, it doesn't take so long. And remember, when you put your bead on, try to hide the little holes in it. So put it so that all you see is the nice smooth bead facing frontwards. And here is my finished gnome. And he's all set to go sit on my bookshelf so he can keep me company through the winter. And every gnome should have a name, so I hope that you name yours as well. I think this guy is going to be Gimli the gnome. So everyone, meet Gimli. Welcome back. Let's do another sing-along. Let's start with Hark the Herald Angels Sing. It's number 48 in our Red Book. song is Do You Hear What I Hear? And if you're not able to follow along with the words, there is an echo part. So you can always sing that part. So when we say, do you hear what I hear? Then you can sing back, do you hear what I hear? Okay, let's try it together. Let's join together and sing Away in a Manger. It's number 69 in our hymn books. And for the little ones, remember the first verse is, away in a manger, no crib for a bed, the little Lord Jesus lay down his sweet head. The stars in the bright sky looked down where he lay, the little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay.
Stars in
let's come together for a prayer. And today's prayer has actions. So how about we do it as a repeat after me prayer, where I'll say the first line and do the actions, and then it's your turn, and we'll go back and forth and back and forth. And I think that we're going to do this prayer twice, just so we can really get into the actions. Are you ready? Okay. All right, so, oh, Holy One, may your peace surround me. May your peace work through me. Move your fingers, it's working through you. May your peace extend to the world and to everyone around. Amen. All right, let's do that again. It's still repeat after me style. Here we go. Oh, Holy One, may your peace surround me. May your peace work through me. May your peace extend to the world and to everyone around. Amen. And I've saved one special song for the end because it's such a fun one to sing. It's Go Tell It on the Mountain. It's in your song sheets. And remember, during the chorus, it's good to clap together. So let's all join in together. So the chorus is, go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Singing, everyone. And I want to thank our special guests, Brad, Robin, and Diane, for joining us this time. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Children's Church. I hope you had fun. I hope that you had a great time making your craft and that you liked the story and all the songs we sang, because we did so much today. So I'm so glad you were here and you took part. Our next Children's Church will be at the very end of January, because the very last day of January is a Sunday. So on January 31st, that's our next Children's Church episode, and its theme will be baptism. because hopefully we're going to be baptizing a little baby in January. So we're going to talk about it some more in children's church. And we're probably going to do lots of songs about water because we baptize babies with water. So stay tuned. It's going to be lots of fun, and I can't wait to see what other crafts and ideas we come up with for next time. So blessings to you, all my lovelies. I hope that you have a wonderful new year and have fun on your Christmas break. And know that we here at Heritage, we love you very, very much. And we're so glad that you were here. So bye for now, and see you again soon.